Okay, you're on.
Today we're going to do door hinges, but I saw a lot of you have taken all the classes, so that's really good. If you haven't, make sure you watch the videos on the other ones and take the quiz. You can give it to Sam, Laura, Lauren, or I. And then I think we're at our percentage of where we need to be for the party, so that's good. We're there.
Yeah.
Party time.
It's your show, Miguel.
Alright, so today we want to show how to adjust hinges, how do they work, and also how to fix lateral drawer that is get stuck along with the other one when you don't open them properly. And we are also going to show how not to stack on the bottom of the lateral drawer and why. Okay. So we have Javier with us today. Ulysses is out, so he will be our demonstrator. Jonathan, he will be the man talking. So,
somewhat.
There we go. All right, we want to start with the overhead door. Like take one door out and show how to put it back on.
Okay, so pretty much to take it out, all you gotta do is lift, push on the little knob that's back here. Push it and just pull out.
That's how he says to put it back on.
It's
Like
simple. All you gotta do is just align the hinge with the mounting plate and it places right in the spot.
Now you can see how level this is, right? He's going to show you with the screwdriver how it is to adjust it every direction, up, down, in and out. Okay? And all of the adjustments are inside the hinge. It's got 3 different screws with different functions. Okay?
You gotta take off the mounting plate, the mounting cap, and then one screw is to level up and down. One of the screws is to pull it in and out. And then he just has to make sure he aligns it perfectly, and he starts with one door and works his way down.
The one that goes in and out, it gives you the ability to make sure that you have consistency on the seams. Okay? Sometimes you will end up with an 1/8 of an inch of a seam on one and an 1/8 of an inch of a gap in another one, but the other one is like a 16 only. And it doesn't look even. The hinge works kind of like a forklift. You know, with the forks you can tilt it down, up, down. It's the same thing, can even go sideways. He's been doing it for years, that's why he's doing it too fast. But
I was going to say, I tried it once, and it was not as easy as what it didn't go as smoothly.
the reason why it's not as easy is because you're not familiar with different screws and the functionality of each, but once you get that and you remember it, then it's very fast.
So it's going the top and the bottom? You're adjusting both hinges?
Yeah. It's actually 3 screws.
On
One on
each
each side and one on the actual clip. The one on the clip is the one that allows you to go up and down. And the one on the front, it tilts it like in and out. And the one on the back, it goes the other direction. So you kind of had to play around a little bit to get the hint of it.
Miguel, so would you guys adjust the doors before they leave the shop for delivery?
No. The reason why is because no matter how good you can adjust them, once you hang them and there's some weight on them, they they change.
So it's always the installer that does the
Right.
final adjustment.
And we do install the ROI logo clip on the hinge upside down, and that's the sign of an installer doing their job. If you see the clip, when you go to do a walkthrough and the clip is still upside down, that means they didn't adjust the doors. But if the clip is put on the right way, it means they did went through and adjust them all. Make sense?
Tricky.
That's the trick. So as you can see now, it's all level. Like in this case, he's saying this one is not as even as the other side because of this overhead being on level. Okay. So, any questions on that?
Is it just the our ROI manufactured hinges that can adjust like that, or
Yes.
do all hinges do that?
For the most part, all hinges. Our hinges have a lot more adjustments, like flexibility to do different things. It's top quality. Boom is like top notch when it comes to hinges. They're like number one. There's many other manufacturers that do similar functions, but not necessarily the same or as good as this.
Does that loosen over time?
Could.
No, but not usually.
What will happen is, let's say we install this overhead today and it's empty, and whoever is going to be on that office comes in a week later and just load the crap out of it, it'll get unlevel somewhat, okay? If it isn't that much weight, it will not change. But over time, because you're putting on and off and on and off, it gets, it moves. So one thing that we used to do as a customer service is every year we will come to our customers and just do a general adjustment and things like that for a customer at no charge.
Are all doors soft close?
Yes. Every door that we do here is soft close. Yes.
Can you go over how to turn it on and off?
Yes. So our hinges have this little button here that you can turn on and off the soft close part. Like you just move it to the side. You hear that click? Now the air is off. Now it's gonna go. Okay. So there's no soft close is going now. What some people, what other advantage of the soft close that we have is that all of our hinges have it, but if you have a small door with the soft close, let me show you something. A small door will have a hard time to close on its own because the soft close cylinder, the air is, it needs some pressure to close, and the door will not be heavy enough to go fast enough to close it. So it'll stay open for a while, and then after a minute, it'll slowly do its job. So what you can do, what's supposed to happen is you only turn off one, so now it's half of the pressure. So it'll go faster. Makes sense?
So smart.
So what's our typical?
You leave both on.
Hold on, is our standard?
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason we do that is because you don't know how aggressive that person might be. A lot of times when you show people soft close, they think differently. And then when you go like this and it's going slow, they think, oh, I can just do it. And no, that's not the case. But everybody thinks different. That's why we left both on, and that way we're safe. Okay? Any other questions on the doors? No? Gracie, any questions? No? Okay. You sure? Okay.
Hey Miguel, sometimes I have a client that has like an open bookshelf or like an open overhead, and they say, hey, can I add on doors?
Absolutely. 99% of the time. If it is our product, I will say 99.9% of the times is yes. But if it isn't our product, depends on the construction of the cabinet.
So they don't need to remake the cabinet?
No.
You come out and retrofit
No,
the door?
all we have to do is this. We will pretend that this is open, we will add the two hinge clips to it, and put the door up. But we have to have the right dimensions, because if you don't, then you're in trouble. Now, when somebody wants you to add doors to an existing cabinet, make sure it's not a giant cabinet. Because the bigger or the taller the cabinet, the tougher that it is to make it work.
Can you ask, so what's the widest single door cabinet that you want to make?
18 inches. 20, we can go up to 24, but the wider, the more chances to hang that you have.
And what about how tall?
We don't want to go more than like
84.
84 is too tall, it'll work. 69, something like that is what we used to do. I think all of the designers have
I
that.
think it's 72 is
72, yeah.
But I think we've done 84
We've done
with
84
extra
inches.
inches.
Yeah.
The extra hinges don't really help on the work finish. The extra hinge helps for the sagging of it, but not for the warpage of the.
So do you want us to keep them now at 72 max?
I always say 72, and then can we go 84? I always make that exception. Yes, it's possible, but as you remember, probably my comment, it's just not ideal. Can we go 90? No. So that's that. Can you tell I haven't done this in a while?
Nope. Like a pro.
All right. Any other questions on the doors? Or are you letting do that? Say it.
I was gonna say that it's not level anymore.
That's because I've been messing around with it. Took it on and off.
All right, so drawers. We
All right. Drawers. The most typical problem that we have with lateral drawers is the anti-tip locking system that we use. Is that what's it? Okay. So this is a perfect lateral drawer. See, you open and close both doors just fine. Okay. What happens a lot is, especially on a 3 or 4 high, is somebody will open the drawer and just leave it like semi-closed. Now you try to open the other one, and you put like, I just force it and pull it, and both drawers are open. Now you can close it. It's stuck, right? Why? Because the functionality of the anti-tip locking mechanism here is designed to open only one at a time. And then if the other one isn't closed properly, you're in trouble if you force this one. You move the pin, and that part is very sensitive. So once you do that, you either have to take the drawer out so you don't force it anymore. And what the customers do, like, they just shove it, and then 50% of the times it'll be just fine. But for the most part, it'll get stuck, and this is what you will get. You hear that? Now the pin moves. The pin that is taking action with the anti-tip part is stuck. See that? You can open it, but you're gonna hear that all the time. And we get this a lot. And the reason of it is that now it's all, the more you mess around with it, the worse it gets. So what needs to happen is, in order to fix it, you have to take the drawers out and then reset the whole lock bar. You want to show them how to do it? Now to take the drawer out, on the side you have this little clip. You pull one down and one up, depends on the side, and then you just pull out. Otherwise this drawer will not come out. It's like a safety clip. Okay? See that pin, how he just push it down? That's the pin that it moves. And that's the pin that this is the anti-tip locking thing. That clip goes here and travels up and down here. See that? And then once that pin moves, now the pin is hitting here or somewhere else and it's not following the track. This is the pin. It goes right here. This is a functionality of it. And then if it's not hitting the right part, if it hits over here, then start keep pushing it and keep hitting it, and it moves. And once it moves, then obviously it's not going to go the right track. So now what he's doing, he's loosening the clip and moving it to the right spot. Another problem that happens is that all of our installers, they carry these clips with them because when you go to fix them, because they're so sensitive, they can break very easily. And a lot of times you're trying to fix it, it'll break. So you have to get extras.
How do you know where the right spot is?
¿Cómo sabes cuál es dónde va?
Dependiendo por si el cajón, saco uno primero. Y por si el problema es el de abajo, lo jalo, y si yo agarro ese pin y lo muevo hacia abajo y abre, eso quiere decir que tengo que mover el pin hacia abajo. Si lo jalo hacia arriba y abre, quiere decir que tengo que mover hacia arriba.
So it depends what drawer is the one that he got stuck. When he pulled the first drawer out, if he moved the pin down and it went down, means the bottom drawer is the problem. If it goes the opposite, it goes up, then it's the upper one. That's how he realized which one it is. This, the lateral drawers is a little bit more complicated. Like, it'll be hard for a customer to fix one. Like every time we have this problem, we have to come out and do it because it's a lot more into it. A hinge door is very easy and simple because all you need is just a screwdriver. You can play around with it. It's not heavy, and a lateral drawer to pull it out and do all of it. Like number one, you have to empty it completely. Then you have to know the tricks to put it in and all of that. It's a lot more work into it. One of the things that we talk about in the past to do is to get rid of the anti-tip lock system on true door laterals. So not on a 3 or 4 high, because on a 3 or 4 high, it'll tip over. You can get hurt or you'll hurt somebody. But on a 2 high, I mean, if you open both, it's not going to go anywhere because the bottom drawer, it'll hit the ground right away. See that? Fixed.
How many times do you fix the thing?
If I had to guess, probably 4 times a month. Is that fair to say? Approximately. Yeah, sometimes.
Are most of them 2 drawers or most of them 3 or 4?
No, it's the 3 or 4 that we fix the most. Yeah, 2 drawers are less complicated, less problematic because of it's easier to realize that 1 drawer is open. But on a 3 or 4 high, it's a lot easier to get it stuck because people just go and pull.
So because clients really don't know this, most of them, how are they educated here about this?
We talk about it many times. Salespeople is supposed to tell them how this works and not to close or open a drawer if one is open. They have to be properly closed in order to operate the other one.
Is there anything that you put in there? Like, think about, let's say you told the client, but Echo, we have some that people using their drawers. Is there something you put in the drawer that says this is how you use this drawer? So that everybody would know?
You can,
Yeah.
but nobody reads it.
But I think some people might. It's better than,
Right, Well,
How do
it'll.
you let the whole company know?
The
Put a
good,
sticker on
the
it.
good thing about a sticker is that it'll cover us.
Oh, okay.
Like for instance, and that was the next thing that I was going to talk about. The bottom drawers. Our lateral drawers are designed to hang files, not to drop them on the bottom. The reason why is this. Todos tienen glue, ¿verdad?
Hay una cosa que se me pasó decirle. Muchas veces no solamente ese es el problema. A veces el problema es esto. Que por decir aquí uno lo cara 2 o 3 veces están bien, pero salen defectuosos estos. Entonces hay que desmontar todo para poder cambiar estas cosas.
He just described another problem. Sometimes this part will go wrong too by forcing it, and then in order to fix that, you have to undo the whole thing, the lock, the cable, and everything. Because this lock, the way that it works is a cable that runs both sides, that turns both bars up and down. So anyway, our bottom drawers are only a quarter of an inch thick. Okay. We reinforce them as much as we can. We, this has got a dado groove into it that this bottom goes into, and we even do hot glue all the way around, as you can see. So it's very strong. I mean, it takes a lot to hurt this drawer, but once you put all of the files on it, what happened is opening and close, files hitting this part or this part, start to span the drawer, and slowly it's moving until the bottom will fall off. Okay, and so that's where the customer will call and like, hey, my drawer is not working anymore. And the most typical problem is the whole bottom will not come out. It's just a portion here or here that will stick out this way, and now it's hitting the bottom up. That or hitting the other front, and now you can operate that drawer. So we have a program that we also reinforce drawers, and what we do, we put a thicker bottom on it, like a 3/4 or a 1/2 inch or 5/8 thick bottom. And instead of using the glue, we'll use the glue, and we also do brass nails. So the capacity of it is like 5 times stronger than this. Even though this is only a quarter of an inch, and what we do, it takes a lot to break it, but we don't recommend it because of that matter. Okay? And we don't know, I mean, like attorneys, they have files that are this thick and heavy. Like each file can weigh over 5-8 pounds. And imagine this drawer full of paper is probably over 100 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
So we keep a sticker inside all
Right.
of our drawers.
The sticker right here, it says this cabinet is designed to use with hanging files only. Do not place materials directly on drawer bottom. Do not slide cabinet across floor left before moving.
Do you think the client sees it on the side like that?
Well, you don't want to put it on the front, obviously. You have to put it somewhere. We used to do it here, and people didn't like it because they can see it like every time you open and close.
What about the bottom? I don't know.
Yeah, put it on the
What about
bottom.
the bottom so that
You
when
won't
they start
see it 'cause-
loading their stuff in, they see it's telling me what I can and cannot do.
I don't think it'll matter where you place it. In my opinion, it doesn't matter to us. We can put it anywhere, but I mean, put it there or there. I don't know. I don't think it'll change anything. It's just my opinion, but anyway.
Just you have to let your designer know that you want reinforced drawers prior to it going to order, because it does affect the price. It is more money to do it that way.
I think that my suggestion for salespeople is that they need to get educated on how our lateral drawers work, and they need to educate their customers as well. Something simple, not a big thing that the customer will be like, oh my God, no. Just little things like, okay, make sure that if you want to use this file cabinet, it's a hanging file cabinet, so otherwise you have trouble with your bottom. If you are going to file on the bottom, not using the hanging rails, then we need to come up with a different drawer system. As simple as that.
Is that how the file bars are configured for a 36-inch wide drawer?
The same way as this. This is a 30 inch. Is it? Right? Any other questions?
Why don't we do 42 inch wide laterals?
A lot more problematic than 30 or 36. The wider you go, the worse that it gets. The thing that I described with the bottom,
Yeah.
if a 30 and a 36 inch give you problems, 42 will give you even more because the span is more in the volume.
Do you buy those boxes already pre-done?
Yes.
So like all of our boxes, you buy them and then they just kind of flip. And
Yeah, the only thing we cut in here is the bottom of it, and we just assemble them. We tried to do these drawer boxes before, and it's so much into it that we will spend in like 25% more by doing it ourselves than just outsourcing it. So, what about that? Any more questions?
Judy would like you to show how to do legal and letter filing.
That I don't know. Do you have the files here? We can do it.
Just show how to move the bars. Because
Oh.
some clients they pull and then they break.
You have to like, see? It's pretty easy. Like this bar, it's got little holes in there. And this bar right here, it's got like a little tiny plastic tip on it. Well, it's hard to see, but can you see? Can you see that little tip? So this little tip hooks into that hole, so now it can move. Okay, that's basically, because if I put it in like right here, just like that, I can still slide it. But once it hits that hole, it can't move anymore. See that? The same thing with this center one. Okay.
So you can file legal and letter with
Right.
all of our files.
Cool. Any other questions? No?
Are we going to cover how to level file?
Yeah. Good. You have to pull both drawers out. So I can put it in. Okay, to level the file cabinets, you have to get the drawers out, obviously. It's got 4 holes on the bottom, and on the inside of this cabinet is a corner levelator with a glide. And that glide has got a slot so you can go with a flat screwdriver and just go up or down to level. Hello. That's the function of it.
So when you install every office, do you then do that every time?
Every time we install any credenza with laterals or any office, always the drawers are out completely. So it's just open cases. You level everything and then you put the drawers back. That's the way to do it. Because if you don't, and of course it's going to be on level, then now you're double working. You have to get them out no matter what and do it.
So when we have a client where the drawers are opening on their own, is that a leveling?
That's a ghost. Yeah, it's leveling.
So then we have to pull the drawers out.
And do what I just described, yeah. And what happened too is over time, it'll create the problem. And again, normally when we level lateral files, we don't live in a, from front to back, we don't live in level. We do this. Why? Because over time we start doing this. Especially when the carpet is thicker, you know, the glide starts sinking into it and we start doing this. That's when the ghosts take place. That's when they start open on their own. You will close it and people walking by, you know, the vibrations and then they start opening. So you have to do the same operation. Take them out and do some more adjusting. And